Welcome to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Well, folks, let's start by taking a look at the price of Bitcoin, right now sitting at $69,549. Guys, what have I been saying for the past month? That Bitcoin was due for some sort of pullback. We hit some sort of local top. I said I didn't know exactly where, but just be prepared for it. And it looks like the local top is coming in here. Now we have to give it some time. Look, Bitcoin could surprise us and bounce off here, or it could keep going lower. Make no mistake about it. We are in a bull market. We are in a uptrend. So I am anticipating higher prices this year as well as 2025 if we don't see the blow off top in 2024. But Bitcoin cannot move up in a straight line. You go back and look at all the previous bull markets, there have been 20 to 30% corrections and pullbacks along the way, on the way up. This happens in a bull market. So we have to be patient. One of the key metrics I've been telling you guys to pay attention to was the DXY. And the DXY in the daily is finding support. It's bouncing upwards. I do anticipate it will continue to break downwards, which is great for risk assets like Bitcoin and altcoins. So we got to be patient. And this is just healthy, folks. It's flushing out a lot of leverage. We're building support levels so that we can bounce off those supports and keep going higher. So once you understand these market principles, you know what your strategy is. You're able to exercise patience and not be scared and not be moving by your emotions. Just stay calm. Let Bitcoin do its thing. Experience is a great teacher. And when you've been here for multiple cycles, my OGs know what I'm talking about. These little pullbacks and corrections are nothing because we're looking at the macro, zooming out. When in doubt, zoom out. And we are in a uptrend. We are in a bull market. So we got to be patient here. With that said, though, as Bitcoin cools off, Solana continues to rip. It's at $181 right now, up near 24% over the past 7 days. So that's pretty incredible. Meme coins are going crazy. Actually, Avalanche or AVAX is going crazy as well at number 10. It retook that number 10 spot from Shiba Inu. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Liquidity may be flowing down from Bitcoin, making its way out of Bitcoin to the altcoins. So you expect some of these altcoins to start moving significantly. Now let's take a look at what are the top trending tokens on social media. The first is BOME, or Book of Meme. The meme coins continue to dominate here, and BOME has significant social mentions and highly positive sentiment. So you may say, what the hell is BOME and why is it trending? Well, the word BOME is trending due to the recent purchase and gains made by individuals investing in the Book of Meme, BOME cryptocurrency. There is excitement for the quick rises in the value associated with meme coins like BOME. BOME token experienced a frenzy and skyrocketed by over 3,000%, causing a buzz in the crypto market. So it's getting just the meme coin treatment here, right? It's going crazy and everybody starts talking about it. Coming in at number 2 is BSV with a very negative sentiment because Craig Wright got smacked by the judge. Yesterday, the news broke that he's not Satoshi. He did not write the white paper and much more. Coming in at number 3 is Say with strong positive sentiment. Number 4, Conflux Network, or the CFX is a token with strong positive sentiment. Jupiter comes in at number 6 here with good positive sentiment. Then the Emoji Network, it looks like another meme coin here, which has a ticker symbol of LOL. And then Ethereum comes in at 7. Blocknet comes in at number 8 with negative sentiment, having the higher percentage on the negative side. Arbitrum is popping up here at 56% positive sentiment, and Base Protocol, number 10 with positive sentiment as well. So those are your top trending coins on social media. Now let's take a look at the news here. Bitcoin has already surpassed gold in investor portfolio allocation, says Jpmorgan. Folks, Peter Schiff is not happy when he hears this news, of course. Now, they're not saying that Bitcoin's AUM has surpassed gold. They're just saying the investor portfolio allocation. So here's the details from Jpmorgan Managing Director Nicholas I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. He said that when adjusting for volatility, Bitcoin's allocation in investor portfolios has already outpaced that of gold. Specifically, the flagship cryptocurrency has a 3.7 times greater allocation compared to the bullion. He highlighted a net inflow of $9 billion into Bitcoin ETFs since their inception, accounting for outflows from Grayscale, and suggests a potential Bitcoin ETF market size could reach $62 billion if gold is used as a benchmark. February marked one of the most optimistic periods for the cryptocurrency market, with the total market capitalization surging by nearly 40% month over month to $2.2 trillion. Folks, I believe Bitcoin's going to surpass gold in AUM by the 2030 bull market, because we're just in the early innings of these ETFs. And I don't think it's possible in this cycle, but definitely 2030 and beyond. And that's going to be significant. This is why there's some Bitcoin that I'm not selling. I'm holding on to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be selling a good amount as we hit six figures this market cycle and take my profits. But there's some I'm just leaving on a hardware wallet, and it'll go to my daughter and things like that, that I'm not selling, because I believe Bitcoin is digital gold. It's going to come after the AUM of actual gold, and that's going to be a significant day when that happens. We saw just recently Bitcoin surpass silver from a market cap standpoint. So incredible what's happening. Now, we got some interesting news from Grayscale regarding the Ethereum spot ETF. Craig Salem, who's the chief legal officer at Grayscale, tweeted out, "We just filed Grayscale Ethereum Trust amended 19B-4 filing. This is an important step in our effort to uplist the ETH Trust to the NYSE Arca. Investors want and deserve access to Ethereum in the form of a spot Ethereum ETF, and we believe the case is just as strong as it was for the spot Bitcoin ETFs." So he shared the details here of their updated filing. But, the challenges, as what we've been talking about, is Chair Gensler, scumbag regulator Gary Gensler, has not echoed the statements of Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman of Ethereum being not a security. And even before Congress, when he was asked by Patrick McHenry, is Ethereum a security? He didn't even want to answer, right? So we're in a very interesting dynamic. The other aspect is we saw two senators yesterday who were certainly coerced by Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler sent a letter to the SEC saying, don't approve any more ETFs. So that means no Ethereum, no other altcoins. And I think Gary is afraid that if he allows this Ethereum ETF to go forward, it gives the green light to the other altcoins by default, because Ethereum is an altcoin. So there's a lot of implications here. And I think he's not going to give in. I think he's going to want to go to court again. This guy's a scumbag, and he's operating under Elizabeth Warren, and they don't care about the law. They'll break the law just to delay things and do whatever they want. We've seen that time and time again. You have different judges calling out the SEC. I mean, they got called arbitrary and capricious for not approving the Bitcoin spot ETF. In the Ripple lawsuit, Judge Sarah Netburn said the SEC lacks faithful allegiance to the law. And in the debt box situation, the SEC lawyers lied to the court, where the judge was like, I'm going to sanction you guys. And when the judge said, I'm going to sanction you, the SEC pulled out, right? Because they know they were in trouble. My point is, they don't care about the law. They will trample over the law of the land to just get their way. And this is the corruption we're dealing with here, and why we got to keep fighting back. Now, Nate Garachi of the ETF store, he said the following: amended 19B-4 filed to uplist Grayscale's Ether Trust. So prospective issuers clearly aren't throwing in the towel on this. It might take Grayscale paving another regulatory path here, like they did with the spot Bitcoin ETF. So I think he's right. Grayscale is going to have to take the SEC to court again, but we will win because the law is on our side. So they got to keep fighting. But unfortunately, scumbag regulator Gary Gensler is not going to give in that easily. Now, speaking of Ethereum and Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton, Empower Oversight, which is the whistleblower organization, nonprofit, that has been exposing the SEC and their corruption. But not only the SEC, they go after every government agency that's not doing the right thing, that is breaking the law, that's abusing their powers, and so forth. Well, Tristan Levitt, who's the president of Empower Oversight, tweeted the following today. He said, Empower's fight for transparency at the SEC continues. The more we learn, the worse the conflicts of interest look. He's talking about Bill Hinman, of course. So he tweeted this out today. And let me give you some more details. He said, we've learned a lot from our prior FOIA requests, such as how hedge fund Andreessen Horowitz arranged a meeting for parties to advocate to Hinman that Ether wasn't a security. And then after Hinman declared in 2018 what they wanted, hired him as an advisor when he left the SEC. We've also learned that the venture capital firm former SEC chair Jay Clayton became an advisor to Electric Capital, has invested in the developer of Ether, which is Consensus. Electric Capital was formed during Clayton's tenure. What interactions did he have with them as SEC chair? So they sent some additional FOIA requests and things along those lines to the SEC to provide all the communications. So we have to wait for those documents to come out, but clearly here, man, you just see how rotten the SEC is. Now, some people are going to get mad at Vitalik and Joe Lubin and Andreessen Horowitz. I'm not so much mad at them because they are just trying to see how far they can push things. And if Bill Hinman was not someone who could be compromised and so forth, right, then they wouldn't have gotten anywhere. The accountability lies on the government official who are supposed to uphold the law, who are getting funded by our taxpayer dollars, and they're the ones that are breaking the law and having conflicts of interest. Bill Hinman was warned by the SEC ethics office about these things. He ignored it. So I'm not so much, I don't really care about Andreessen Horowitz. I don't really care about what Vitalik is doing, because at the end of the day, it goes back to who was actually compromised here, the SEC. And that's who I'm pissed off at. That's because my tax dollars are funding that. And it's unbelievable. These people who are supposed to be in government office and hold these positions and uphold the law are clearly not doing that. And that's pathetic. Now, a great way for change, though, is to bring in people who have the right ethics, who support crypto and understand technology, who are forward thinking. And that is, for example, John Deaton, who's running against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. Now, John tweeted out the following today. It was an article from the Boston Globe talking about the crypto industry supporting John and going against Elizabeth Warren. He said, grateful for the support from these disruptive leaders. He tagged Mark Cuban, Charles Hoskinson, Perry Ann Boring of the Chamber of Digital Commerce, and Anthony Scaramucci. So this is really great, guys. John is getting more coverage, more exposure, and Elizabeth Warren is scared. We've seen her multiple emails as soon as John announced his run, trying to raise funds. She's trying to get these other Democrats to come help her from other states. And in fact, we talked about it, I think, earlier this week. There's a supposed Democrat pro-crypto, pro-blockchain guy that is going to run against Elizabeth Warren, and he's Republican, yet his history shows he's a Democrat. And I said, I think that guy's a plant. I could be wrong, but he looks like a plant because there's photos of him and Elizabeth Warren and Biden and so forth. So we're in for a battle. We got to support John. Please donate to John. You can go check out his profile here, Deaton for Senate on X, also known as Twitter. And, go donate to him. I donate to him and spread the word. Amplify, use social media to amplify his message so we can get him to go and take that seat away from Elizabeth Warren. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is BitGo. BitGo is one of the top tier crypto custodians in the crypto industry. They've been here for a long time, gone through the bull and bear markets, and many industry leaders trust BitGo. Pantera Capital is one of their clients. That's Dan Moorhead, his hedge fund, Bitstamp, the exchange, Bitcoin IRA, Maple Finance, and Nike even selected BitGo for their wallet service for their NFTs and so forth. So some of the services that BitGo offers includes hot wallets, custodial wallets, self-managed cold wallets, NFT wallets. And they're headed up by Mike Belshie, who's a Web 1.0 and 2.0 legend. And BitGo has the top tier of technology, security, and much more, and fully regulated insurance and all that jazz. So if you'd like to learn more about BitGo, visit bitgo.com. Link will be in the description. Now, some interesting news coming out of Dubai. We are seeing the move towards crypto globally and regulations being established, folks. They're not banning it. they're embracing it and they're going to tax it, of course. They're going to put the regulations in place. So Dubai's DIFC passes comprehensive digital asset law, new security law. The center claims it has created the world's first comprehensive set of legal characteristics of digital assets as property in a new short law. We still can't get bills out of the house here in the United States. While the UK has passed regulations, the EU has passed regulations, Dubai is doing its thing. So we are seeing the world move ahead here. So the Dubai International Financial Center, also known as DIFC, a special economic zone with over 5,000 residents, has announced the passage of a new digital assets law and security law and amendments to the existing law. The legislative developments seek to keep pace with the rapid developments in international trade and financial markets and to provide legal clarity for investors and users of digital assets, according to the statement. DIFC Authority Chief Legal Officer Jacques Visser said, "We consider this legislation to be groundbreaking as the first legislative enactment to comprehensively set out the legal characteristics of digital assets as a matter of property law." Amazing, folks, what's happening globally. This is why I'm so bullish. These governments are embracing it. Big money is embracing this technology. It's the future. It's the next layer on top of the internet. And it's great to see the world is moving ahead. And I've often stated, this is not a US asset class. This is a global asset class. And you can be in any part of the world. Doesn't matter where you're at. If you have an internet connection, you can go buy a fraction of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, whatever it is. You can put as little bit as $10 and you are part of the network, the financial network. There's never been anything like this in the history of the world. Even though people may have, let's say, gold in every part of the world, there's no way to see the real-time supply and real-time transactions and how many is being mined, right? Because there was no internet or no blockchain. Now, don't get me wrong, there is tokenization of gold, but still, it's not fully digital where you can see, once again, I can go on the Bitcoin blockchain, see the transactions, see the wallet addresses, see what's being mined, all that stuff. It's incredible. And it's that uncorruptible ledger that's borderless, immutable, and much more. And obviously, it's much more than Bitcoin, right? There's smart contract blockchains, payment blockchains, and much more. So a paradigm shift, folks. Incredible. This is why there's so many opportunities here. And the upside is exponential because you have so many people across the globe that can access this asset class. They don't have to be an accredited investor. They don't have to be a hedge fund or whatever it is. There's no laws that say, hey, you can't buy this stock because you're in this jurisdiction. No, you can log on and buy some Bitcoin in your local fiat currency, right? And there's so many on-ramps being built right now for that. Now, we got news here that Sam Bankman-Fried could face 40 to 50 years in prison, prosecutors argue. His sentencing, of course, is this month, folks. So here's a quote. "Because of his willful role in orchestrating one of the largest financial frauds in history, the government's lawyers said SBF deserves a severe sanction proportionate to his role in this historic fraud." So we know Sam right now, he's in jail. I think Tiffany Fong and some folks have shared photos of him with the other inmates. Now, will he get 40 to 50 years? I don't think so. I would be surprised. I think he probably gets maybe 30, 25 to 30. But make no mistake about it, he has to go to jail. I mean, the guy's committing straight up fraud, right? He's the Bernie Madoff of crypto. Now, what he did was just old-fashioned fraud. It had nothing to do with crypto. They were commingling funds and doing all kinds of things. And look, part of it was the regulators failed. He was meeting with Gary Gensler. He was in DC meeting with different people. The SEC, it was rumored they were going to give him the broker-dealer license, FTX that is, that they gave to Prometheum. So he would have had a monopoly. So just a mess. And I think once the sentencing is done, we would be finally over with FTX. Some people are saying, look, his parents should be charged too. Maybe, we have to see all the facts there. But I think once his trial is done, then it's done. And look, Alex Mashinsky also has to get held accountable. But FTX, Sam is the face of what happened in the last bear market and all the collapses, right? So I think with him going to jail, the ETFs and all these things happening, it will be something that we put behind us and continue to move forward. But look, you do the crime, you pay the time, right? And he's going to have to pay for all the lies and all the stealing people's funds and much more. Billions of dollars, right? Unbelievable. All right, guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, hit that 5-star rating. Leave a review, please. Don't forget to subscribe for my free email newsletter on Substack, link in the description. Follow me on all social media platforms as well, guys. TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, X, and much more. It really helps to support the podcast. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take $1 out of your pocket. It just takes you a minute to go follow and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you all later.